Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next Monday show, Red Dwarf. We're doing episodes 5 and 6 of the very first season. Usually they lasted about 6 episodes, and we're still venting atmosphere. But we're having fun, fun, fun in the sun, sun, sun. Not a bad voice. You tell me in the comments if I sang that correctly, along with Miss Russell, or if not. Yeah, let's get the ball started. Okay, so welcome everyone. My beautiful wife, of course, Suzanne, mwah, is over there in the corner watching me. We did start with Brad Wolf. He came in early. Hello, early Mikey. I'll be back when you start. Thank you, Brad Wolf. Appreciate you being here. Howdy, Mikey from Curtis Selby, our tired midnight blogger man. Good to see you, Curtis. And howdy, Brad Wolf. Okay, and then I let everybody know, welcome, Brad and Curtis, and we'll start on time today, which we did. So, Gorilla, if you want to scream and yell at me, go do as much as you want. Do it all, man. No, just kidding. Okay, so let's get started right away. I'm not sure how much information is on these episodes today, but I always look forward to going through the information that IMDb presents. And of course, as we said, the disclaimer is the IMDb is not always accurate, it's not always complete, but it does have some of the best information out there, and there are some pretty good ratings. And usually my ratings match what they say. So is that weird? You tell me. Anyway, we also have joining our wonderful family today in the chat, JPRPH1. Howdy, Mikey. Hey, JP. You're right on time, brother. We're just getting ready to start the review of both of the bleh. Can I rewind myself there? We're about ready to start the reviews here on both of these two episodes, which ended season one officially. Now, according to what I have on information, this Red Dwarf series has been going on for now 36 years. Yes, from 1988 when it started to now. So it is still in the process. It's still putting out episodes, even though some of those guys have aged by 36 years. Danny John Jules, Chris Berry, uh, Craig Charles, and of course Robert Llewellyn. Yes. So yeah, there we go. All right. So let's see. All right. The first episode we're going to cover today is from season one, episode 5, is Confidence and Paranoia. This premiered on Monday, March 14th, 1988. So yes, 36 years ago, plus a few months. Lister falls ill after entering a contaminated area of Red Dwarf, trying to find Kochanski's hologram disc, which Rimmer has hidden. But Red Dwarf has two unwelcome guests on board, Lister's confidence and paranoia. Alrighty. Okay, now IMDb gave this a 7.7 out of 10, and I will admit it has been a while since I've seen it myself, so bear with me as far as the review goes. The director was Ed By. Of course, the writers were Rob Grant and Doug Naylor. And like I said, you got the cast of characters: Chris Berry playing Rimmer, Craig Charles playing Lister, Danny John Jules playing the cat, Norman Lovett, of course, is still playing the hologram computer Holly, and then later on came Robert Llewellyn, as Crichton. He didn't show up on the first season. But then the two characters that played uh, Confidence and Paranoia are Lee Combs, and then Confidence is played by Craig Ferguson. Now, if you recognize that name, remember there was a late, late night with Craig Ferguson later on, and he did a talk show. So this was one of his first exposure to TV series episodes, and of course he plays Lister's Confidence in this. Then the food machine voice was uncredited, was done by Rupert Bates. And finally, there's a woman in film, uncredited, and her name is Risa, Risa Hall. Yeah, so pretty cool. Alrighty, let's take a look, see what we got here today. Okay, so we do have trivia, goofs, quotes, and soundtracks. Awesome. All right, so let's go with the trivia first. Okay. Oh, you know. Okay, so Chris Berry, who also plays the role of Arnold Rimmer, does provide the voice of the man in the film that Lister watches. Now, Mac McDonald, who played Captain Hollister in the first episode, was originally considered for the part of Confidence, but he was decided against because the producers felt that Hollister would be brought back eventually. He does return in the second and eighth series. Craig Ferguson and Lee Combs, who play Confidence and Paranoia respectively, originally auditioned for the parts of Lister and Rimmer respectively. Well, that's interesting. Peter Ragg, the way he spells his last name is WRAGG, effects team built a full-size dummy of Confidence to explode outside the ship with a high-pressure burst. Craig Charles appeared to be hurt, but was only acting. Now, the computer keyboard Lister is typing on in the control room is a Commodore 64 computer. So, if I just told you Commodore 64, you can understand why we go back so far. Okay. Rimmer reveals that as a hologram, he undertakes necrobics, which is that. I know I'm going to have some fun with these pronunciations today. Hologrammatic exercises for the dead. Now, this may explain the exercise chart above the mirror in the sleeping quarters, since Lister and the cat certainly never exercise. Rimmer is seen exercising frequently in the earlier series. Now, this episode reveals Kochansky's middle initial to be Z. However, it is not revealed what it stands for, nor is it ever mentioned again. So, if you are trivia buffs and you want to know what her middle name starts with, it's a Z. The exterior of the ship seen during the spacewalk was a large purpose built set by designer Paul Montague. The production team were very worried that they might get complaints about cruelty to fish regarding the raining fish hallucination scene. In fact, no fish were actually harmed, and none were dropped from any height, but placed on the floor. Now, inside the spacesuit, Lister mentions his claustrophobia. Now, this would be mentioned again in the express lifts and would become a major plot point in the Series 7 episode, Duck Soup, DUCT, Duck Soup in 1997. The episode used split screen techniques to show the mayor of Warsaw approaching Rimmer and spontaneously combusting. The technique was used to minimize any potential threat to the actors. The mayor, Rimmer's reaction, and the explosion were all carried out as separate shots and cut together. Now, not counting the regular characters or artificial intelligences such as the revolving toilet or talking toaster, the mayor of Warsaw, Confidence, and Paranoia are the first human characters to be seen on board Red Dwarf since the accident 3 million years earlier, the cat priest being a Felis sapien. The actor who played the mayor of Warsaw went uncredited, possibly because he was in heavy garb and makeup and exploded right after appearing. Now, the Confidence character was based on Elvis Presley. And believe me, Craig Ferguson pulled it off really well. There is neither a record of the mayor of Warsaw spontaneously combusting nor fish rain in Burgundy. Furthermore, SHC is not a real phenomenon, but animal fish rain has been documented and witnessed, but the mechanism is unknown. Now, careful, because these are a couple spoilers, about 6 of them. So if you don't want to hear the spoilers, just go la 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 and put your hands over your ears. I'll try to read them as fast as I can. Now, at the beginning of the episode, Holly asks Lister to delete all of the Agatha Christie novels in his memory so he can read them again to alleviate his boredom. At around 1350, when it begins raining fish, Rimmer asks Holly what's happening. Holly answers, Hercule Poirot's just stepped off the steaming train, and if you want my opinion, I think they all did it. Assuming Holly is reading Murder on the Orient Express, he would be correct. When confidence compliments Lister, he calls him king throughout the episode. The compliments of royal ranks get lower, e.g., prince, duke, earl, etc. This episode was originally going to be the last of the first series and would have ended with Kochanski being successfully resurrected. The BBC electrician strike had disrupted the series' production, but this gave Rob Grant and Doug Naylor time to reconsider an earlier unproduced script titled Body Snatcher, in which Lister and his duplicate hologram do not get along. They adapted that idea and changed the ending to have a duplicate of Rimmer resurrected instead, which we will examine later in Me Squared. Rimmer reveals that he was part of the Love Celibacy Society because, as Rimmer says, I happen to agree with their philosophy that love is a sickness that holds back your career and makes you want to spend all your money. But Lister says it was because he couldn't get a date, because you let your mom buy all your casual clothes. Now, ironically, in the episode called Hollow Ship in 1992, Rimmer would later fall in love with Nirvana Crane on board the Hollow Ship, who shares the 25th century scientific finding that love is a short term hormonal distraction which interferes with the pure pursuit of personal advancement. Now, the episode contains the first mention of dream recorders. These would become significant in the Series 2 episode Parallel Universe in 1988, whereas a one off joke would transform into the tongue tied music video. It is Rimmer's fault that Lister got sick with mutated pneumonia, causing confidence and paranoia to appear, because Rimmer neglected to tell Lister that the officer's lock had not been decontaminated. However, despite refusing to own up to his negligence, he makes up for it by, for the first time in the series and possibly his entire existence, being concerned about Lister's safety and trying to help him. Lister spewing a mouthful of milkshake down his shirt 2.5 minutes into the episode hints that Lister is slowly starting to feel unwell. Alrighty. So there's our first one. And we have Curtis Selby back here saying, howdy, JPR PH1. Hello, Curtis. Thank you. So, what do you guys think so far of this episode 5 of the first series, the first season? Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? And like I said, Craig Ferguson in an early role before he even goes to a talk show host. Couldn't have done better, right? Okay, now we get to the goofs. All right. Okay, on this, there's actually, wow, today is a short one. So there's only two. And they're both revealing mistakes. So Lister mouths confidence's lines when he says, I don't know. Is it someplace near Uruguay? Uruguay. After Rimmer asks, where's Paranoia? When they're about to go outside the ship in their spacesuits. Just before Lister's motorized wheelchair in the medical room shoots forward and he crashes into the bed, the cable that pulls it can be seen in the bottom left corner of the frame. Yeah, they didn't, because of this first series, the first season, they didn't really hide much of the mistakes, but there weren't many made, so that's actually pretty cool. Okay, see what else I got here. All right, so let's go to quotes. And let's see here. All righty, well, we do have a lot. Good. Okay. Now, remember, I'm going to try to do my best voice for each of the characters. But please don't hate me if I can't get it right, exactly right, or close to it. Just warning you. Oh, and by the way, today's episodes and this showing of Red Dwarf reviews is brought to you by my cats Moon Pie and Deja Vu. There we go. And my beautiful wife Suzanne. Okay. Holly says, emergency. There's an emergency going on. It's still going on. Craig Ferguson's confidence says, oxygen is for losers. Then this is between Rimmer and Holly. Rimmer says, Holly, put a trace on Paranoia. What's a trace? It's space jogging. It means find him. No, it doesn't. You just made it up to be cool. Rimmer says, love is a device invented by bank managers to make us overdraw. Okay, then the next one is between the cat and Lister. Hey, you're awake. Yeah, I just woke up. Yeah, well, I brought you some presents. Aw, you shouldn't have bothered. Well, I'm that kind of guy. Hey, let's see what we got in the magic bag here. I got you some grapes. He holds up the bare stems of the next bunch of grapes. And I got you an orange. He holds up an orange peel. Well, thanks a lot. That's all right. Hey, well, all this enormous generosity has made me tired. I'm going to bed. Cat takes Lister's pillow and blanket and lays down on the bottom of it. Ah, yes, indeed. Then between Rimmer and the cat, to Lister. You're awake. Yeah, but I'll be asleep in a minute. Rimmer, Lister. How do you feel? Fine. Just don't ask me any more questions. I'm trying to sleep. Shut up, you stupid monkey, and out of that bed. Cat getting out of bed. Well, if you're going to speak to me like that, I'm going to take my presents back. Cat grabs the bag and Lister heads for the door. Rimmer, how do you feel? Hurt. King, you can do anything. 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 He can't do anything. Confidence paranoid. Rimmer. Uh, necrobics. Hologrammatic exercises for the dead. And Confidence says, I know what the H stands for. Idiot. Am I right? And then Lister says, love is what makes us different from animals. Rimmer says, no, Lister. What makes us different from animals is that we don't use our tongues to clean our own genitals. And Rimmer says to Confidence Paranoia, these two are symptoms of your disease. They're like the spots in measles, the swellings of mumps, the funny walk-in cystis, or cystitis. Whew, wow. Told you I'd have some weird words today. Holly says, oh, this is the intro. We've been traveling through the galaxy now for 3 million years, and there are many things we have discovered. The highest life form in the universe is man, and the lowest is a man who works for the post office. And the River says to Lister Confidence, I don't believe it. He's socializing with a figment of his imagination. Yes. Okay, now we have something between Rimmer and Paranoia. Let's see if I can do this. Do you know he used to practice kissing on his own? How? He made lips out of one hand and waggled his thumb through the gap like a tongue. Huh, that's priceless. It really is. 17 years old and he used to snog his own hand. And then Scudder rolls in the door behind Paranoia holding a syringe. Of course, they're seated and demonstrating stuff right now. And Paranoia now standing uncomfortably close to Rimmer. Yeah, once in front of the whole school, he called his gym teacher daddy. I could have died with embarrassment. Rimmer motioned to Scudder. Oh, what's a silly thing to call a gym master? I'm racked with guilt. I hate him. Well, if you hate him, why do you talk about him so much? Because he makes my life one big, humiliating, cringe-making, guilt-ridden hell. Shannon stood. Now, stab him! Stab him! Stab him! Quick, stab him! So it's kind of just out of the room. You haven't met Stab him, have you? He's one of our Scudders. Stab him. Meet Lister's Paranoia. Lister's Paranoia. This is Stab him. The Scudder drops the syringe and tries to shake hands with Paranoia. Now, repeated lines in a film being watched by Lister. Oh, Carol, you must know. I'm dying. Jim says, I know, Carol. Dr. Graham told me everything. Okay, here's the cat. Now he's jumping around the corridor, spraying things with a spray can. And this is mine. Wow, that's mine. All this is mine. I'm claiming all this is mine, except that bit. I don't want that bit. But all the rest of this is mine. Hey, it's been a good day. I've eaten 5 times, I've slept 6 times, and I made a lot of things mine. Tomorrow I'm going to see if I can have sex with something. Wow, yeah. And River says, where's Paranoia? Well, I don't know, King. Is it somewhere near Uruguay? And Calvin says, Davy, baby, what can I say? Is he the greatest, most handsome, fantastic person ever, or am I insane? Raymond says, You're insane. I says, Please don't. A dust storm is approaching. Ship exterior is now out of bounds. All airlocks are being automatically sealed. Estimated duration, 18 hours. Raymond says, Quick! Lister's fainted. He needs help. Quick! Lister says, Why didn't I ask her out? What's the worst she could have said? Well, she could have said, No, you're a filthy, stinking, loathsome, disgusting object I wouldn't be seen dead with in a plague pit. Talking about Kachansky, of course. Alrighty. Okay, so while we're going over this first episode, I do have Curtis Selby. Of course, he said howdy to JPR PH1, and JPR said howdy to Curtis Selby. And howdy, Jim's Landscaping LLC #1, Commodore Productions. How you doing, Jim? And JPR PH1 says hello, Jim's Landscaping. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Jim. I'm looking for you, and I don't see you in the chat at all. I don't know if I haven't blocked you. Okay, I haven't. I took all that off. I subscribed to your channel. I don't know. It must be something that either the chat's doing to you, or it's something that Facebook's doing, or something. I don't know. I'll try to find out. Okay, I got plenty of time. I'm sorry, but at least you're here, and I appreciate you being here. Okay. So we got 4 likes and 4 people watching. Awesome. Okay. We're almost done with this episode. So let me go to soundtracks. As you know, they're in the set, so there's um nothing outside yet until we get to backwards. Okay. So as we said, the Red Dwarf theme was written by Howard Goodall and it was performed by Jenna Russell. Okay. All right then. Let's go back here to Red Dwarf there. Okay. All righty. Yeah, the social media companies are weird. Right, Curtis? Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, like I stated before, IMDb's rating was 7.7 out of 10. So as you know, my grading system, if I give it a F, it's 0. If I give it the D grade, it would be 1. Then the C grade, 2 uh, out of 5 or something. The B grade would be 3, and then A or close to A would be 4. So yeah. Okay. Well, I went ahead and gave this a 3.5 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5. So a B, close to a B to a B plus grade. I thought this was a very good episode. I was surprised to, later when I watched a few episodes of Craig Ferguson's late night thing that he was doing, I looked back and I said, "Oh my gosh, that's him in that episode." Yeah, playing Confidence. And of course, he was paying a little respect to Elvis Presley by calling his, uh, the ego that he came from, Lister, King. And then, of course, was acting like typical paranoiac people would, if they were a little disturbed. So, yeah. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5 and about a B. Probably close to a B plus, but I'll keep it at the B grade, straight up B. Yes, it was very good, and I laughed a few times when I first saw it, way back in the day when I was, trying to go through college and everything when it first came out, and then afterwards. So yeah, it's very funny. It is. It's pretty funny. Um, and when you see the cat and you realize that Danny John Jules playing the cat is just, he's acting like James Brown, which is why I kind of throw in those, "Hey," and all this stuff like that. That's pretty much how he is. He's like that. He moves around like James Brown. He's suave. He does all this, and stuff. Now, when he does tongue tied, I don't know if you guys have seen this video yet. It's a video short from one of the episodes, but it's called Tongue Tied. It's a very good song, very funny song that Holly, the cat, Rimmer, and Lister in their dream recorders are pretending like they're a group, and three of them dancing, Holly shaking his ears, doing all this. It is funny as hell, and it is a very good short video. So if you guys want to see it, it is available on YouTube. All you have to do is type in Red Dwarf and then tongue TONGUE dash TIED tongue tied. I'll pull up the video. Yeah, it's very good, very good. Yeah, the social media, right? I agree with you, Curtis. I do agree with you. Okay, all right. So now let's go to our next episode from season 1, episode 6, which is called simply Me with the Two in the Corner, which is basically me squared. So get to that here real quick. Okay. All right. So Me Squared came out on Monday, March 21st, the following week. And the plot is from season 1, episode 6. Rimmer moves into his new sleeping quarters with his holographic duplicate. Lister watches Rimmer's video containing footage of Rimmer's death. The two Rimmers start getting into a fight, and Lister decides one of them has to be switched off. Now, this was a very good episode. It did get an 8.0 out of 10 from IMDb. So, yes, we may have a pretty good high rating for this last episode of the first season. All right. Okay, so let's go to trivia. Now, according to this, Craig Charles and Danny John Jules are the only two actors to appear in every episode. Now, it says the design of the cat's pink suit from the first series was copied from an old black suit belonging to Danny John Jules' father, who got married in it. John Jules brought it in after deciding none of the designs provided were really appropriate for the cat character. That was a great idea he did. Now, Robert Llewellyn uses a Canadian accent to play Crichton. He considered using a Swedish or American accent before settling on Canadian. Llewellyn discovered the accent while spending time in Vancouver, British Columbia, which he describes as being a cross between Scottish and American. Production on the seventh series was delayed for 3 years. In 1994, Craig Charles was arrested on a rape charge and held in prison. Rob Grant decided to end his partnership with Doug Naylor and leave the series. Chris Berry was busy starring in The British Empire in 1991. Charles was later acquitted. Naylor hired new writers, and Berry was convinced to return to the series. Originally, Holly was supposed to be a voiceover character, but Norman Levitt protested and insisted on being shown on camera. Holly was changed to a disembodied head on a computer screen. Shots of Levitt were added to already completed scenes in the first series. Now, there's a lot of trivia here. So before I get to that, let's go to the cast and crew of this episode. All right. I'm sorry. I got the full cast and crew. So actually, I gotta go back here. And the tagline from here is the brand new Smeagol series, which opens series 10. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the cast and crew for this episode. Oh, it's not bad. Yeah. Before we go into the trivia, there is a lot of it. Okay. Okay. So Ed By, of course, directed. Rob Grant and Doug Naylor both writing for this episode. Okay. All right. So in this episode, the usual cast of characters for Rimmer, Lister, Cat, and Holly. Mac McDonald does come back as Captain Hollister. Leslie Allen is a crewman who is uncredited. Then Tony Hawks is the restaurant advertisement voiceover. His voice is uncredited. Then Peter Ingham, that's Ingham, is a crewman, uncredited. And Nigel Peaver is also a crewman, uncredited. Okay. All right. So before I get back here to trivia, all right. Looks like we have 5 likes, 3 people still watching. Thanks so much. Really do appreciate that. Means a lot. Okay. Okay. So for this particular episode, let's see here. Oh wow, there is a lot. Okay. So I read you some parts. I read you some information about this series in general, or the whole show in general, but I wasn't going to go into those. So I realized I read you guys and gals a little too much. So I apologize for that. Okay, so here we are with the trivia for Me Squared. Okay. Now, Rimmer's gazpacho soup story was based up on a real incident experienced by Rob Grant and Doug Naylor while at Thames Television. Unlike Rimmer, however, they suddenly remembered some soups are served chilled and did not send it back. In the video of the accident, Rimmer's last words, gazpacho soup, combined with a shot of a snow globe smashing, are an homage to the Rosebud opening of the movie Citizen Kane in 1941. The script was written as a late addition to the series following an electrician's strike at the BBC. The previous episode, Confidence and Paranoia in 1988, was originally planned as the first series finale, but the strike gave the writers Rob Grant and Doug Naylor a chance to write a different finale to the series. They adapted ideas from an unproduced episode script, Body Snatcher, and changed them for this episode. Although Mac MacDonald returned to play Captain Hollister, his scene was filmed at the same time as his appearances in the first episode, The End, in 1988, to save him the trouble of returning to the set. In actuality, Ocean Gray, which is used by the RAF or the Royal Air Force, is darker and more blue than military gray, which is used by the United States Air Force. The two Rimmer scenes were shot using a split screen process, meaning that Chris Berry would do a take on one half of the screen and then go over to the other half and do another take. The takes would be spliced together in the editing process. Bonan metanon means good morning in Esperanto. In the cinema scene, Lister tells Rimmer they are watching Citizen Kane, linking back to Rimmer's death video when he drops the snow globe. Now, if gazpacho is a cold soup or a liquid salad, has been debated beyond written records in Spain and Portugal. However, most chefs agree it's not a soup because it is not cooked, but rather it is its own thing. It is only called gazpacho soup on English menus. They emphasize soup in capital letters. To help tourists while in Spain, it is just called gazpacho. For transatlantic views, Blue Tack is a UK-made reusable pressure adhesive used to attach paper or posters to walls as an alternative to thumbtacks. It was originally colored blue, but changed to white to avoid accidental ingestion by children. Some capricious copycat brands do make blue a version. Holly says Lister uh, left 17 pounds, 50 pence in his bank account. On several occasions in the show, they state that the present currency is dollar to pounds. The snow globe smashing to the ground is an allusion to Citizen Kane, as Kane dying, a snow globe falls from his hand smashing, thereby linking the end of his life to the beginning. Now, these were scenes cut from the episode. The cat enters the sleeping quarters on roller skates with a loudspeaker announcing that he feels sexy to any female Felis sapiens in the area. Since Rimmer has moved out to live with his hologram clone, Lister asks the cat to move in with him. However, the cat says that he isn't interested because a cat shouldn't cohabitate or cohabit. Well, cohabitate's not a bad word either. With monkeys, what he calls humans, and also that he would prefer to bunk down wherever he feels like. Lister muses over the signage the two Rimmers have put up outside their bunk. Extended scene of the two Rimmers winding each other up in the cinema. In the original script, it was Lister who had a hologram clone, not Rimmer. The script was later storyboarded and reconstructed as Body Snatcher. Now, the Red Dwarf crew were apparently killed in early mid-January. Now, in Rimmer's diary, it refers to Gazpacho Soup Day as November the 25th. Then Lister verbally notes that that was 6 weeks before the crew got wiped out. This, however, is later contradicted by an episode called Stasis Leak in 1988 that indicates the accident happened in March. This may simply be an error in the character's figuring. Rimmer tells Lister that he hummed maliciously and persistently for 2 years. Yet in episode 4 of series 1, Waiting for God, Lister tells Rimmer that the only reason Rimmer is his superior is that Rimmer has been with the company for 15 years, while Lister has only been with the company for 8 months. Now, some fans have noted that Rimmer simply squaring himself, as is implied by the episode title, would not result in two Rimmers, as one times itself can only ever result in one. Others have pointed out that this does actually, in some ways, fit with the episode, as it shows that no matter what you do with him, you will always just end up with Rimmer. And then a distended rectum is synonymous with prolapsed rectum. And then in the opening SOS distress message of the episode, Holly says that the cargo decks of Red Dwarf have enough food to last 30,000 years. This is curious, since in a previous episode, Holly says that the cargo decks are beyond his supervision field, and that is why Holly couldn't look into supply pipe 28. Another curiosity in this is that there is still so much food aboard after 3 million years, although stasis would be the logical explanation. However, it doesn't explain what the evolving Felis sapiens ate in the preceding 3 million years, since the cat race clearly weren't eating the food in the cargo decks. Although space weevils and grown food from the botanical gardens could be an explanation. Napoleon's war diaries were written by a foot soldier, not Napoleon himself. By Memories of Julius Caesar are autobiographical. Leaving a half-eaten sausage to mold and cover 7/8 of the Earth's surface is not a crime against humanity. CAH must show intent. What Lister did wouldn't even be considered negligence. However, it makes a good joke. Piles is a UK term for hemorrhoids, and Napoleon was born in Corsica. White people insisted they had to put that down. Yeah. Alrighty. So let's go to the goofs next. Alrighty. And let's see. We have a couple. All right. So for continuity, there are three. The videotape shows that Rimmer was blown back by the atomic blast when he died. However, in the end episode, it's shown he died right next to the control panel and is implied to have died right where he stood. In the first episode, Lister is told by Holly that two piles of dust next to each other on the drive room floor are the remains of Rimmer and Captain Hollister. Yet, in Rimmer's death video, the explosion blows them into different parts of the room, some distance apart from each other. Rimmer is shown dying on the floor of the captain's office, so he couldn't have crawled to where his dust pile was shown. When the cat roller skates into Lister's room, after the shots where his skates can actually be seen, it's obvious from his movements that he's no longer wearing them. When he leaves the room, he doesn't skate out either. Okay, now for the revealing mistakes. There are three of them also. Lister mouths cast lines when he says, "If I believe that for 1 minute I go crazy," after he tells him there's no other cats on board. When Lister visits Arnold and Arnold in Rimmer's new room, there is one frame of video where the Rimmer on the right was not composited in the picture. Now, this is right after Lister comments about the Rimmer headlines on the door. When they switch camera angles from Lister at the door to showing the entire room, the first frame only has Lister and Rimmer along with the two scutters. The second frame shows the additional Rimmer on the right side of the room, and one scudder has moved. And then the last one here is when entering Rimmer's room, the door opens a moment before Lister hits the switch, which is kind of commonplace. And then the last one is miscellaneous. Now, Rimmer is a hologram and is shown to pass through objects and surfaces before he is altered to be solid later on. However, he is able to interact with the pillow and blanket in his bunk. These cannot be holographic like his clothing, as Lister is also shown to interact with Rimmer's pillow and blanket too on occasion. Okay. All right. Before we get to the quotes, I can see that all of you are still here. We got 5 people watching, 6 likes for the chat and for the video today. So thank you so much. Really, I appreciate it. Everyone that gave the likes here and is enjoying the video so far. We really do appreciate y'all being here. And there's my friend Larry from Beer Sub Adventures. Hi, Mike. Dropping by to say hi. I'm on my way to the doctor's, so really can't stay. That's okay, my friend. Um, please give all our love and support and prayers to your mom, okay? We love her and we care about her and hope that she can recover and come out of there okay, all right? And I'll send you a couple of hearts here. There you go, buddy. So that's for Larry's mom. Everybody in the chat today, if you could send some extra prayers as he goes over to the hospital to check on his mom. Yes, so I can't really say. It's all right, Larry. Thank you so much. No, you're welcome, brother. I love you. Suzanne loves you too. And the cats love you. So you got 4 of us. There you go. All right. Yeah. So take care on that, Larry, please. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, had an ant on there. Darn ants. Okay. Well, we have a couple of quotes. Not too many, but I'll try to get through them as fast as I can. All right. So the first set of quotes is between Lister and Rimmer. And Lister says, It's not only one way, Rimmer. Your hobby, Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Easy to live with. What are you talking about? I'm talking about playing your self-hypnosis tapes all through the night. Learn Esperanto while you sleep. Learn quantum theory while you sleep. Oh, come on. We both got the same benefit. Yeah, none of us got any sleep. Neither of us. And then they say again between each other, everything you ever did, you did to pull me back and annoy me. Like what? Like using my mother's photograph as an ashtray. I didn't know. I thought it was a souvenir from Titan Zoo. Exchanging the symbols on my revision timetable, so instead of taking my engineering finals, I went swimming. Those symbols fell off. I thought I put them back on the right place. Swapping my toothpaste for a tube of contraceptive jelly? That was a joke. Yes, Lister, the same kind of joke as putting my name down on the waiting list for experimental pile surgery. And then, well, what about the time you tied my hair to the bedpost and it sounded the fire alarm? Lister, I did that because I was sick of you annoying me. I don't have to explain it. I nearly needed brain surgery. What brains? And then the cat is talking through a megaphone. Hi. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. 111. Me, me, me. Attention, all lady cats. I'm feeling very, very sexy. Can you hear me, lady cats? My body's available. Please form a queue. No squabbling. This is your lucky day. And then Rimmer on his death video. Now, if you put Napoleon in quarters with Lister, he'd still be in Corsica peeling spuds. And then Holly says, We have enough food to last for 30,000 years, but we've only got one after 8 mint left, and everyone's too polite to take it. And then there's two fighters tracking Red Dwarf. They're from Earth. That's 3 million years away. They're from the Norweb Federation. What's that? The Northwestern Electricity Board. They want you, Dave. Me? Why? What for? For your crimes against humanity. You what? It seems when you left Earth, 3 million years ago, you left two half-eaten German sausages on a plate in your kitchen. Do you know what happens to sausages left unattended for 3 million years? Yeah, they go moldy. Your sausages, your sauces, blah. Your sauces, your sauces, blah. I'm really having trouble with this one. Your sausages, Dave, now cover 7/8 of the Earth's surface. Also, you left 17 pound 50 in your bank account. Thanks to compound interest, you now own 98% of all the world's wealth. And because you've hoarded it for 3 million years, nobody's got any money except for you and Norweb. Why Norweb? You left the light on in the bathroom. I've got a final demand here for 180 billion pounds. 180 billion? You're kidding. Ollie, wearing a silly face mask. April Fool. Lister is recited like eeny, meeny, miny, mo to choose which runner. Ippy dippy, my spaceship be on a course so true, past Neptune and Pluto's moon. The one I choose it, you. Lister, we don't have to take this anymore, from Rimmer. We don't have to put up with your snidey remarks, your total slobbiness, your socks that set off the sprinkler system. If only they'd mentioned it in basic training. Instead of climbing up and down ropes and crawling on your elbows through tunnels, if only just once they'd said gazpacho soup is served cold, I could have been an admiral by now. Hey, I'm looking so good today. If I looked any better, I'd be illegal. Ollie is reading Rimmer's memorial to himself. BSc, SSC, what's that? Lister says. Bronze swimming certificate and silver swimming certificate. He's a total lunatic. Cat, what are you doing? I'm courting. Courting who? Whoever shows up. I told you before, there's no other cats on board. Well, if I believe that for 1 minute, I'd go crazy. Lister says, observing the scudders. Why are they painting the cord the same color it was before? River says, they're changing it from ocean gray to military gray. Something that should have been done a long time ago. And then River finally says, I can't believe that I've been ippy dippy to death. Oh boy. Anyway. Okay. And of course, finally, just the one Red Dwarf theme, written by Howard Goodall and performed by Jenna Russell. Yeah. And I read about Jenna Russell. She's a very nice lady. Does a lot of singing and stuff. Okay. Alrighty. So Larry says thank you so much. Love you too. JPRPH1 says hello to Larry. And of course, Larry says hi to JPRPH1. Okay. So we'll go back here to the episode. I know I said this before, and I'm trying to get back here. I should say it one more time each time we go through this, at least once, so I know what I'm saying. Okay, yeah. So this episode got 8.0 out of 10, and I honestly have to say, yes, I would give it a close to a 4.0. I believe I gave it a 3.9 out of 5. With a very close to it was between B plus and A minus, very closer to A minus almost. So I almost gave it a straight 4, which would have given it in between an A and an A plus. This does give it about an A minus. So it is a very good episode. So I think they did such a great job with taking Chris Berry's Rimmer, Arnold Rimmer, and putting it split screen like that, making it look like they had two of them. It was very well done, very fluid. Not a lot of mistakes. made, of course, as I told you about the goose. So yeah, not too many. It was very, very well produced. I do think it's probably one of the best early episodes of the series. Of course, later on we've got the xenomorph or polymorph, whatever it's called, and backwards. And then we've got the one which is doing dibbly. Yeah, later on. So yeah, there's a lot more great episodes coming up. It always seemed like they improved with each episode. When they did reach backwards, which is like I said again, it's one of the greatest episodes of the entire series, and it's my personal favorite. Um, when we get there, I may go ahead and put this instead of webcam. I might just go ahead and run it as a live stream, because I would like friends like Omnicast to come in, and if he gets a chance to come up there with me, comment about backwards, comment about other things involved with the episode, and some other friends I'd like to invite too. So yeah, so I would probably have subscribers only, but a panel from the subscribers only. So when we get to backwards, that will be treated as such by itself, and we will discuss that episode in a little bit greater detail, including what we already have from IMDb. So remember that when we get to that episode, I'll before we get to it, I'll give you like whatever the episodes are that are before it. I will give you the time because I don't know what time I want to do yet for that on a Monday. So, and hello, Moira Kitty, Miss Moira Kitty, meow, meow, Moira. Good to see you, sweetheart. We're just getting ready to end the video here. So, like I said, with confidence and paranoia, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars and a B grade, straight up B. And then with the me squared, I gave it a 3.9 out of 5 stars. And so basically close to an A minus. It was very, very good. And Moira says, meow, everyone. She's smiling. Oh, and you hugged me. Oh, thank you so much, Moira. Hugs are much needed, even if it's virtual. And all those miles. Yeah. Wow, that's great. Thank you. Thank you, Moira. That means a lot to me. And I know you hugged Suzanne too, and the kitty cats. Meow meow. And we're hugging your cats too at the same time. JPRPH1, JPR is howdy to Moira Kitty and meow JPR. Thank you, Moira. And hugs to Suzanne and the cats. Thank you, Moira. Thank you. Okay, so let me go ahead and while we're waiting, let's go to season two or series two, according to their thing where they don't say seasons. Okay, right. Okay, so it'll be a while before we get to backwards because I know backwards is right around the beginning of season three. And next week we're doing 2 more episodes starting here on season two. So season two, episode one is the introduction of Crichton, and it's simply called Crichton, Kryten. And the next one, which is top rated, is season two, episode two, called Better Than Life. And both of these premiered later in 1988 on both September 6th and September 13th. And what they did is they took these episodes, moved them from Mondays to Tuesdays. So now both of these episodes, one of them was given an 8.0 out of 10 by IMDb from over 1,000 people, and Better Than Life is given an 8.4 out of 10. And if I recall Better Than Life correctly, it is one of the best episodes of season two. So that's what we will go into for next time, which is next Monday. There we go. We're all done. So that's what we'll go into next Monday, again at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 noon in the Central Time Zone, 11 a.m. in the Mountain Time Zone, and 10 a.m. over there on the West Coast, if anybody's watching from there. Okay. So now we've got 7 people with likes. Thank you so, so much. Appreciate that. Really do. And we have 4 people still watching. Cool. Cool. All right. Now I'll go ahead and tell you what the next 2 episodes. Uh, and I'm sorry to hear legendary country music hitmaker Billy Sherrill is dead at 77. So Cheryl's gone. That's a shame. It's really bad. Yeah, a lot of country music people passing away here. And then of course all of you heard, right? Tito Jackson of the Jackson 5, he passed away. Yeah. And then there was this beautiful ballerina. Uh, her last name was DePrince. She was only in her mid 20s and she died. She was one of the first African American ballerinas in the United States, and she died. So God took his 3. Yeah. Okay, so tomorrow, right. So tomorrow is The Secrets of Isis. I'll just give you the names of the 2 episodes that I will be reviewing tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern, 1 p.m. There we go. And they're from, let's see here. Yeah, I think we're just about finished with season 1. So let's see what, no drums and trumpets, Funny Cow. I did Funny Cow and Girl Driver. Okay. Okay, yes. So the last 2 episodes of season 1 are season 1 episode 14 and season 1 episode 15. One episode is called Scuba Dooba, and the other one is called Dreams of Flight. And Dreams of Flight is supposed to be a top rated episode. So those will be the 2 that we'll cover tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. Tuesday's ISIS. And Moira says, Meow Jim. Cool, cool. All right, everyone. Let me get a drink here. It's just juice. I really need it. You know, when you do a lot of talking and quotes, yeah. There we go. All set. Okay. All right. Now I'm composed. Now I'm back. Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and do our closing prayer. We're almost here to the top of the hour, so that's great. I'm glad we were able to get this in within the hour's time frame. And again, of course, Moira uh, and everybody that's here, thank you for being here for uh, our next episode here of Red Dwarf. And you know the episodes we'll be covering next Monday. Like I said, the beginning of season 2 or series 2, episode 1 and episode 2. So that'll be next week. Okay, so in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful thing we call social media. It does bring us together as a family, and we are trying to bring more of our family into the fold to enjoy some of the best content we hope that we're giving on the MikeySuzeFour channel. We are currently at 197 subscribers. We're only 3 away from 200. My promise still stands. If we do get to 200, I will do a live stream and invite some people, special people come and be a part of it. So yes, I hope we reach that, Lord, if it's your will. And to the Holy Trinity, uh, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, may all 3 of you as Trinity becoming one to watch over our families in these difficult times, to watch over our kids, our relatives, and friends. Also, to the Blessed Virgin Mary, I hope that you can continue to guide us in wisdom and truth, and always watch out for us. And if we ever need a helping hand, to provide an angel that comes and helps us out. So, with all this, Lord, we ask you in your name, Amen and Amen, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. There we go. Okay, we're all set. So, JPR says, Amen. Thank you, JPR. Much appreciated. Okay, so before we end this today, let's thank our wonderful people in the chat. 7 likes. Thank you so much. Uh, 5 still watching. All right, so we have JPRPH1, and we have Miss Moira Kitty, and we have Larry from Be Yourself Adventures. Please make sure that all of you uh, go to each other's channels, subscribe if you haven't, hit the like. Don't forget, hit the notifications for all notifications for each of their channels so that you can be notified of any future events and so forth. And Curtis Selby, the Tired Midnight Blogger brother. Thank you, sir. Already. And Brad Wolf 07. Thank you, Brad Wolf. Okay. Already. I believe that's everyone today. Um, One person I do want to quickly mention before I sign this out, uh, Omnicast, if you're out there, I know that you were really enthusiastic about Red Dwarf, and he's a friend formerly from Jet Nerdy and A Question of Trek. And I know you're always busy, Omnicast, so hope you continue to stay busy, stay working, and just know that Suzanne and I love you and your wife. We care a lot about you guys. And if you ever do get a free day or whatever, come on board here. Watch the episode if you can with me as I go through it. Or if you want to join the live stream later on when I cover backwards, let me know. Okay, leave me a message in comments or anything, and I will be sure to look that over and see if we can get you in uh, to join our panel for that special episode. So, so Omnicast, we care about you and your wife. Yes, just want to let you know that because I hadn't seen you in the previous 2 we did, and I'm sure you're busy and working. So it's totally understandable, my friend. Okay. All right. So we are done today, and like I said, we got ISIS tomorrow. And then Wednesday, The Greatest American Hero, 2 episodes from that. The A-Team, 2 episodes webcam again from that. Thursday night, I just decided to go and be a part of the watch party with our wonderful friends Raquel, SSG 2211, and Miss Moira Kitty being represented here for the movie Speed, which has Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, and of course the villain, played by none other than Dennis Hopper, who I get mistaken for most of the time. But I'm not that psychotic. Come on. Sorry. Just had to laugh about that. Anyway, so that is Thursday night. Now, before that, I might also appear on Resolute Germ's uh, Nerd Roundtable. And that usually has Gorilla, me, Sif Dan, some people on it also. Some I don't like being on there, but that's okay. So yeah, so I might be doing first the round table and then the watch party, for sure, that night. Then on Friday, after I do the Waltons commitment video, the next video we have on the series with it, Gorilla and our friends, at that time, about half an hour or so before, usually, I'll leave and I'll get ready. At 11 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, we'll continue our movie series. Um, yeah, we're going to continue our movie series with Star Trek V, The Final Frontier by Shatner. Yeah, William Shatner, our Canadian man. Yeah. And then the following week, which is, let's see, yeah. Then the following Friday, I'm actually going to go ahead and do the latest horror film and do a review of that. and that's called Blink Twice. And that is a very graphic, uh, horrifying film, which had even a disclaimer put at the beginning of it before it started. But it does feature an all-star cast. It has Gina Davis. It has Channing Tatum. It has the guy from I See Dead People, Haley Joel Osment, and it also has what's it, Christian Slater. Yeah. So it's a really, I mean, it's really a good psychological horror film, and it is loosely based on conspiracy theories about the elite having these private islands all to themselves, and then they get these women and bring them there, to do unsavory acts, I should say. The movie was very, very horrifying, but very, very good. So just put this on your calendar for September 27th. We're going to uh, review, and I will put down my own kind of disclaimer saying there might be some graphic details uh, mentioned. So please don't have any kids under the age of it'll be PG-13, but just make sure you don't have any kids under 13 there that night. Just to say, that is going to be coming up 2 weeks from, or no, I'm sorry, a week from this coming Friday. Like I said, we'll do Star Trek 5 on Friday. We'll do Blink Twice the following Friday night, same time, 11 p.m. And yeah, that's it. And then I won't be doing any more stuff on Saturdays and Sundays. I need to take some time off. Now, sometimes, I mean, I won't be doing my own streams and stuff, but sometimes I uh, do like to come up and appear on Sci-Fi Sip Dance. My friend Daniel Trevino. Oh, sorry. You didn't hear that last name from me. Rewind, clip. Okay. But Daniel, yeah, he does this sci-fi pop culture show starting at 2 p.m. his time, West Coast, to about 4 p.m. or sometimes 5 p.m. on the West Coast. So usually starting at 5 o'clock my time to usually about 7 or 8 o'clock. Yeah. So I normally do his show on Saturdays. And then on Sundays, Sunday, as long as a certain person isn't there, I go to Gorillas and he does Cinema Sunday. And I'm not sure what he has coming up on Cinema Sunday this week, but I do know on Thursday he's doing a watch party and the movie he says is cringe stock. So it's a cringy movie and it's called Cocaine Werewolf. I might catch the tail end of that after I do Raquel's and Moira's stream. So, oh, thank you, Curtis. So, our brother Curtis Selby says, "Howdy to Larry and meow meow to Moira Kitty and amen to the prayer and great stream." Thank you, Curtis. Thank you so much. And JPR says, "Thanks for all you do for us, Mikey. Cheers to the chat as well. Have a great one." Thank you, JPR. Thank you so much. So again, 7 likes. Thank you so much for all of that, uh, my friends, and for people watching. So as we end today, in the immortal words of our wonderful nerd, Mr. Gene Siskel from the Chicago Sun-Times, who was way better than Roger Ebert when it came to critiques of movies. The aisle is now closed. Thank you everyone for being here. And don't forget, we got ISIS tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, with 2 episodes from season 1. We're almost done. And then there's only 7 more episodes after that. And then what we'll start with after that's done, remember I said, according to your comments and likes on our poll, the next choice is the original series of Star Trek, TOS, and the first 2 episodes we'll do from that when all of ISIS is done. So until that happens, take care, everyone, and please make sure you make it back to the Mikey Sue's Fortune. Love you all. And as I like to say at the very end, peace! Fun, fun, fun in the sun, sun, sun.